So we all know how white people have been dying to want to be able to say the N-word whenever they want to and as freely as they want to.
So y'all do realize that telling a group of people based on the color of their skin that they cannot use a word is racist? What I hate the most though is that when I go to use the word and then someone tries to be like, well, you don't know what it's like to be black. In my book, as long as you're not putting the ER on it, then you're using it correctly. And best believe I say this word super freely. Super freely. Not on the app, not on Instagram, definitely on Snapchat, definitely in real life. Am I careful around new people? Sometimes, because I say the N-word the way that you say it. That's not racist.
Well, thanks to a loophole in the Korean language, as there are loopholes in every language, they can now say the N-word under the guise of, well, I'm not saying the N-word is actually a Korean word. This is happening as a challenge on TikTok. You know, good old TikTok, the happening place where literally everything toxic, dangerous, and evil goes down. Yeah, I wouldn't want my kids on that app. And this is something we see some Koreans do as well, especially the rappers. I don't know how many of us are aware of this, but it's something that they do, because when you try to break down the lyrics of the song, if you understand Korean, you will find out that no, they are not using the word like the Korean word. They're actually saying the N-word, but you cannot really, you know, call them out for it, because they'll tell you, no, I'm singing a Korean song and it's a Korean word. So it's like, what can you do, right? And some Koreans have actually called out other Koreans, you know, rappers, for doing this. Some Koreans have addressed the situation with a challenge and the word in Korean that is used as the N-word in English, and this is what they had to say.
Let's talk about word choice. Specifically, how similarities in language can cause problems. TikTok discovered a new word in Korean this week, which is 내가, which translates to I am in Korean. As you can probably tell, the word sounds very similar to a racial slur used against black people. And as anti-black TikTok trends go, it became a trend to use this word as a racial slur within the context of this song. There are two main things about this that I would like to address. To talk about this at all, we must first talk about how K-pop as a genre was largely influenced by Black American music. And because of this, some artists in K-pop genres tried to replicate the style and the language choice. But of course, they can't say the N-word because they're not black, they're Korean. One of the best examples of this that I can think of is in the song Once Again by Mad Clown from the Descendants of the Sun soundtrack. I think you get the point. He doesn't exactly say the N-word, but you can tell what his intent was. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's move on to the actual song. Do not personally believe that this song by Treasure is trying to do the same thing that the other song that I just played is. But I do know for a fact that a lot of people that are lip-syncing to this song and only selecting one certain word know what they're doing. I don't have screenshots of this part, so take this with a grain of salt. But recently the song became popular because a Korean woman was calling her boyfriend essentially the N-word using the phrase I am in Korean. I promise you, this is how a majority of the people that are lip-syncing only that word found out about that song. And I do find it so odd that these people who have clearly never taken a Korean language class in their life are so hyper-fixated on using this random phrase in Korean. It really makes you think. Clearly, these people are aware that the phrase sounds like the N-word. They've made it clear themselves in their videos. Some of these people fish for negative reactions from black people, hiding behind a language and a culture they've never experienced or lived in. So yes, personally, I find it disgusting that these people can hide behind a screen and use my language and my culture to try to make black people feel uncomfortable. Especially when you will never be affected by any of this, ever. You will never experience what it's like to be called a racial slur. You will never experience what it's like to have your culture, your skin, f***ized. So respectfully, stop inserting yourself into other people's business.
Could you imagine explaining the Korean word "nika" to an African American? It'll be like, so what does it mean? It means you. Oh, I bet it does mean me.
No, you're not listening. Could you imagine not exploiting Black trauma by finding a loophole in the Korean language for your cheap attempt at jokes, which really peddles to white supremacy's thirst for racist humor. We know very well what it is to be the butt of that joke, because that degradation of our humanity is currently getting us Asian hate crime to death. While you may have thought this was all just for laughs, you've contributed to giving a pass to white people to search for Korean songs to only sing that word so they can get their racist fix, and using our language as a tool to get away with it. So congratulations on double homicide, because not only are you being disrespectful to the Black community, but you're trashing our language to serve racist white people. So it's like this. 정신 차려 이 새끼야!
I don't really understand why non-Black people are so obsessed with the word. They want to find any excuse they can. I hate how racists will always downplay a situation because they don't want to take full responsibility. At this point, I don't really know if they're acting stupid or if they really are. Isn't it funny how now white people can weaponize the Korean language? They can do a Mandarin too. But the thing, glass, stone, house. Sometimes a situation really is just a coincidence, but other times it is a malicious intent disguised as an action that is considered moral by society. Oh, now you're not letting Korean people make music? Korean rap is already in borrowed territory. So do you think people can't tell when they're purposely trying to make a mockery of the original? Anyways, misunderstandings happen, but patterns are suspicious.
On another news, a white lady who is Black and proud.
I'm Black and I'm proud.
I'm Black and I'm proud. All of the races can sit the
And this is how she captioned the video. Certainly a combination of caucasity and stupidity going on here. I know you are not wondering, but just so we are clear, nobody made a video. So she's about to lose her job for using the N-word.
Anyhow, telling a group of people, based on the color of their skin, that they cannot use a word is racist.
Y'all ready for an update? While she's online, still playing Malibu's Most Wanted, broke flexing with a bunch of ones, I found out that she's a pharmacist for CVS. And check this out. She's a floater. She doesn't even have a permanent position at a store. CVS calls her when they need help and they're short-staffed. One pharmacist at one of the stores laughed and told me that she only comes in once a month, but gave me the number to corporate office so that I could send the video clips of her using racial slurs. I did that. They know exactly who she is. They have the videos, and it's only a matter of time. I'm Black and I'm proud. All of the races can sit down.
So when artists, influencers, and etc. use this word and turn it into slang and then sell it to the group of people that aren't supposed to by society use this word, and then they go and use it, it's not the artists and the influencers that even get mad at them.
How do you know?
It's random people around them.
Oh.
And for what? Because we all know what the slang is. No, it's men, bro, guys. We all know. And in my book, as long as you're not putting an ER on it, then you're using it correctly. You got it.
I would never understand the burning desire white people have for wanting to use the N-word. The crazy thing is how they'll be quick to tell you how it's just another word and they should be able to use it. How they are not ready to desist because they used it. How they know somebody who's Black and how they grew up in Black environment and they should be able to use the word. Like slavery literally flew over their heads. And now they have language loopholes to use to their advantage. The fact that they come on TikTok and sing only that part of the song and run under the guise of, well, it's a challenge, well, it's not the N-word, it's a Korean song, it's a Korean word. These people would berate anybody's culture and language. They do not care. They have absolutely no respect and regard for anybody's anything. This challenge started out very nice until it got to their shores.
Why do y'all want to say it so bad? Like, you guys just have like this itch, like this craving, like, I need to say that word needs to belong in my vocabulary, I need to say it. Like, why? Why do you need to say that word? Do you think that word is going to make you powerful or strong or smart? Or like, what do you think that word is going to do for you? I'm confused. Because if anything, that word is going to get you jumped. That word is going to get you beat up. That word is going to get you put in the hospital. That word is going to get you to lose your job. So, again, my question is, why do you guys want to use that word so bad? And why do you feel entitled to that word? Why?